It's a collection of First Nation leaders from all across the region that actually agreed to cooperate on building or buying an existing facility and turning it into a detox center for everybody that's suffering from addictions in Skeena.
But the proposal was rejected by the government. Meanwhile, the province was holding a surplus.
Even though the BC government had a surplus of money, even though the BC government had talked about partnerships with First Nations in the throne speech, this proposal could be up and running within 3 months because the property's there. They've got the manpower, they've got the skills, they've got everything in place. Whereas the government's any plan to do anything takes years.
In the meantime, the resources that are available to those affected by drug addictions as well as mental health seem to be stockpiled, and it's not just in the Northwest.
We're essentially, what we're doing is we're warehousing people. We're putting them in an area and keeping them alive every day, trying to keep them alive, but we're doing nothing to treat them.
Terrace Mayor Sean Buitash understands that paperwork takes time, but he also knows that for some, time is running out.
I think you got to be a realist about it and know it's not going to get built overnight, but give us a plan and tell us what's in the works, because there is so much activity in the Northwest. The Northwest really needs to be the focus for the government. We're generating revenue for the province, and there is absolutely no reason that they're not putting the supports into our communities.
And the mayor knows that without help, projects like this will never get off the ground.
One of the key recommendations from Health Canada when we went to the federal government to get an exemption to decriminalize in our province, we're the only province in the country that does it. One of the main recommendations, basically the foundational recommendation, was to ensure that the supports were there in place. Enforcement, treatment, the things we've talked about. That just simply isn't happening. We don't have those resources right now. So British Columbia has failed miserably on this. They've taken a pilot project, and that's what this is. It's a 3-year pilot project, and they failed miserably. So we need to see those resources come to make sure people are being treated.
And if projects don't even start, those affected will have to face dire consequences.
We need to work with the province and find solutions to get treatment and detox in the Northwest for folks. You know, we've got the second highest overdose rate in the province. And somehow the government continues to ignore this issue and not lend the supports in the Northwest. And the reality is it's not a fast fix. So when the more they delay on trying to move forward with something, the longer it's going to take for this to happen, and sadly, the more people that are going to die.
After delivering a strongly worded, bordering on angry letter to the legislature, the project may veer back on track, but it is suspected that it will be included into the next budget cycle in February of next year.